the mines, the coal mines will shut down. They'll probably become obsolete. Maybe not in my lifetime, but they'll become obsolete. And any coal miner, probably that you would talk to, including the women that were coal miners, I can sum it up in one word. It's called love.
Hi, my name is Caroline Pauley, and I am an intern at the Frank and Jane Gabor West Virginia Folklife Center in Fairmont, West Virginia. Jim Davis worked in the Four States coal mine located near Worthington, West Virginia for nearly a decade. Four States was in operation until the early 1980s. The love Jim had for his job and his work family can be heard in his voice. We were lucky to be able to sit down with Jim to talk about what it's like in the mine, the family-like bonds that had formed between the miners while working together, and the reunion the miners hold yearly to maintain those connections. New miners often need to be trained for several months both inside and outside of the mines in order to learn everything they can about the job and to learn how to operate the equipment used in the mines. Jim was also trained in college to learn skills that would help him further his career as a miner.
When I first started in the mines in 1973 as a red hat, I wasn't allowed outside the sight of another working coal miner who had a black hat. I had to stay within sight of that man due to the fact I was not what they call a legal coal miner, to where I could go out and run equipment and do various jobs. So what I did when I started, I was under the eye of a experienced coal miner for 6 months. After 6 months, went and got certified as a coal miner, worked different jobs underground, learned the machinery, et cetera, et cetera. Then in 1977, I went back to school through Consolidation Coal Company, and through West Virginia University extension classes, I become a certified electrician in low, medium, and high voltage.
Although Jim never lived in one, he remembers the coal camp houses at the Four States mine where miners would sometimes live, mainly because the camp houses were close to the mine, making it possible for miners to walk to work. Many of the coal camps were built before the average person owned a car.
A coal camp is a community when a mine's open, such as in Monongah, Carolina, Reesville, Four States, etc. Employment at the mines employs back then a lot of mine workers, and homes began to be built around that site, and they become known as coal camps because many houses was built around a coal mine opening because of employment. And back then, during the day, there were not many gasoline-powered vehicles, and back then you could hardly afford one.
Having worked in the Four States mine for many years, Jim knows a good bit about the history of the mine.
As far as I can go back, the Four States mines was started back in the 1800s, and from the information I gathered, it was run at one time by steam. And as technology progressed and you had the steam to phase out, where most equipment underground became electrical. Mine machinery, whatever you use, was electrical. And they had a portal at Four States, West Virginia, where you went down a shaft into the mines by an elevator. And then later on, as the mine progressed and we were mining coal toward the Ohio River, they opened up another portal in Mannington, a place called Whetstone.
Jim remembers that the coal miners all got along for the most part and would take care of each other whenever they needed it, even if it meant working harder than usual.
What made Four States become an interesting, unique place, the workforce? You would not believe the people that you work with there, that you went to work and it was like being with your family. It was family oriented. Just to give you an idea, if you were a good worker and you got along with the guys, where most of the coal miners got along with each other, but if you went to work and you were sick and your fellow workers knew you was sick, they would set you off to the side and make sure you got an 8-hour shift in, and they would double up and do your work, or say that for some reason you was in a hurry and forgot your dinner bucket and you come to work with no dinner or water, and the guys would set you again, not off to the side, but come dinner time, they would share their their lunch with you through their dinner bucket and water and whatever they had to make sure that you was fed and got through the shift. It was like going to work and being with your family. People were easy to get along with. You did your job, had fun doing it, and easy to get along with.
Several years later, after the Four States mine was closed, a committee was created to plan a reunion for the former miners. The idea behind holding a reunion for them stemmed from a desire to reminisce about a time where they all worked together and to continue to feel like a family, even all these years later.
Well, we was such a closely knitted group of men that worked together, and after the mine shut down, the men at Four States, we was dispersed to various mines throughout Consolidation Coal Company. There's a thing that's called a panel once a mine's closed down, and if your name is on the panel and they need you at a certain mine, that's where you go. So some of the guys, we ended up all over, and we got separated, and we would see each other from time to time, and we thought it would be very nice to have a Four States Coal Miners reunion because we were so closely knitted and got along so well. And a guy by the Danny Toothman, who's deceased, got a hold of the idea, and he started the Four States Coal Miners reunion. Then we elected committeemen and et cetera, to form a committee and a body, and then once we did that, then we just started planning for a Four States Coal Miners reunion, and we wanted to keep the reunion somewhere in the Four States area because it was the guys that worked there. So we located at TV Ball Church up Four States Road in Parish Run Park. It's a little park right off to the side of the church, and we got the word out through television and newspaper and word of mouth, and the men would come with their wives, et cetera, covered dish, and we would just spend a good Saturday or Sunday together reminiscing about the good old days, as we called it.
Coal mining is a job in which everyone must work together, not only to get the job done, but also to take care of each other in difficult times, whether those difficult times be related to mining or not. The experiences that Jim Davis has had with working in the Four States mine is an excellent reflection of West Virginia's culture as a whole. If someone needs help, we will take the time and make the effort to help them, even if it means going out of our way to do it. Part of being a West Virginian means being kind to those you meet, being a friend to those who need one, and being a family to those with whom you have formed a strong bond.
The mines, the coal mines, will shut down. They'll probably become obsolete. Maybe not in my lifetime, but they'll become obsolete. And any coal miner, probably that you would talk to, including the women that were coal miners, I can sum it up in one word. It's called love. It's the love you have for each other. It's how you look out for each other and help each other and take care of one another. And if your family's down and out, that you always look after them no matter what. Once it's just like a bond, a brotherhood. It's a bond.